On Sunday the 2nd of November 2024 we headed down to Belhaven Bay for a long overdue surf session. We were supposed to have been in for a first session at the Lost Shore wave garden facility, but they've had to delay their opening, so we had to reschedule it. We're now booked in for the middle of November and we're really looking forward to it, but thankfully Mother Nature stepped in to temper our disappointment by delivering some East Coast waves at Belhaven Bay. We arrived mid-morning and took a walk down the beach to check the surf and get some drone footage. The swell by the numbers and according to Surfline was that the surf was 2 to 3 foot plus with a 10-second wave period, a gentle 9 mile per hour offshore southwesterly wind and the water temperature sitting at about 12 degrees. It was also quite mild, so the wind chill factor was fine. We were delighted to turn up and confirm that the forecast was pretty accurate. There were quite a few people in the water and the conditions looked decent.
Stu's christening his new board. Woo-hoo! Happy new surfboards day, Stu!
Stu's probably on his 7th time in the water and was christening his new Osprey board. It was a nice wee swell to get it baptised, he caught loads of waves on it and is fairly delighted with his new mistress. I'd been trying to encourage a few mates to come along and try surfing and some of them decided to take a plunge. Stu and I had been in for about an hour when Cammy and Angie arrived. They do a fair bit of paddle boarding, so they're pretty used to being on and in the water. They hired a couple of boards from coast to coast but had their own wetsuits. They brought the dogs down the beach for a run around before going and getting suited up. This was Cammy's first wave and it was quite a bumpy one. Stu was catching more of the waves he was pointing his board at and definitely getting to his feet quicker. Cat A was just home from London but she was keen to get back in again and had her friends Cat M and Neil with her. Cat M has surfed a couple of times before, notably in the tropical waters of Bali, but it was Neil's first time.
Alright. Here we have Neil's first time surfing.
Here we go, right.
Brilliant, good luck.
Let's go for it.
I gave everyone a wee basic safety talk, said that we should all try to stay fairly close together and to keep an eye out for one another. On the day everyone managed to catch plenty of waves and Neil did particularly well for his first time. I was then recognised by a guy in the water, so a shout out to JJ from South Africa, who recognised me from the videos. Thanks for saying hi JJ, it was nice to meet you. You looked like you were enjoying yourself in the not so sharky Scottish waves. This is me being a wee bit cheeky here and dropping in on JJ, but to be fair it did look like he was going right. I'd bought a new Insta360 X4 camera and surfboard mount and this is the first time that I've used it. I was quite impressed with the results and I think it's definitely an upgrade on the X3. This was the best wave that I caught footage of Cammy on and he managed to do a bit of kneeboarding. I think the extended flat period and lack of surf recently had contributed to everyone being desperate to get back in the water, as I've never seen it so busy down there with a fairly crowded lineup. There were some nice waves coming through occasionally and it was good to get rid of some ring rust, but my wave selection still needs a fair bit of work. This young lad was fully committed to a decent sized wave, but he ended up having a nice wipe out, which we both had a good laugh about.
That was a beauty. That was a nice wipe out. Where are you from today? Oh, no. I went West Yorkshire. Yeah, that's why I'm like. It's notorious for being sharp, isn't it?
At this point, Neil and I were a wee bit concerned about where Cat A and Stu were. We had to look about, but there were a lot of people in the water at that point, and it was difficult to keep track of everyone. We couldn't see either of them, but we were then shouted up the beach where Cat was sitting, having been hit by a board. She had a small cut in the back of her head and appeared pretty dazed. She also reckoned that she may have had a small concussion. First aiders soon appeared and helped her back to the car park. She ended up going to the hospital where she had to wait for a few hours before eventually having the cut glued. Thankfully it doesn't seem to have put her off, and I think she's definitely been bitten by the surfing bug. Another shout out to the Coast to Coast guys who have offered Kat a free board hire for her next session. That was a really nice gesture, so thanks very much for that. We had a fantastic day down at Belhaven Bay. It was a shame about Kat's accident, but at least she's okay. It's always great to get into the water, everyone seems to enjoy their day, and we're now looking forward to the Lost Shore and Rattle opening up. Maybe we'll see you down there. Stu and I then had a wee beer to rehydrate and reflect on the fun we had had on the day. Thanks for watching.